feelings of friendship for them. So she is friendly with Radharani and Krishna, engaged in their services. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. Her face defeats the beauty of the ambrosial corona of the full moon. Her eyes are like those of an alarmed deer, and she is expert in the art of decorating Shri Radhika. She dresses Srimati Radharani very wonderfully. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. She wears a wonderful silk dress, colored like a peacock with outstretched feathers, as well as a nice blouse, and her complexion depicts the golden splendor of Gorochan. So she wears the silk dress like a peacock with outstretched feathers. Sometimes we do put that to Radharani also. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. She teaches Sri Radhika the art of a left-wing heroine, saying, Radhe, firmly reject this shrewd son of the king of Raja. O immoral girl, listen, don't be weak. I am saying it for your own good. Don't submit to him. So Man Lila is there. Radharani becomes angry because Krishna has done some mischief. So then she may think of forgiving him, but then Lalita will say, no, he has been always like this. Don't. This is also required. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. Her eyes become red with anger if she sees the son of the king of Raja cheating Sri Radhika even slightly. Then she will promptly embarrass him with her clever words. There are several pastimes in Ujjwal Nilmani and several other scriptures written by our acharyas, especially Rupa Goswami, wherein these roles of Srimati Lalita Devi are told in relation with the pastimes of Sri Radhika and Krishna. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. She is the abode of affection for the queen of cowherders, Yashoda. She is the teacher of the art of friendship for all the Sakhis, and her love for Sri Radhika and Krishna is equal. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. She requests every girl in Vraja to join the party of Rishabhani's daughter, and who fulfills all desires of that girl or of Sri Radhika. So she is a canvassing person. She recruits many girls of Vraj in the party of Radhika, because the other party is Chandravali. So that side they should not go. This side they should. She will do that. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. All her desires were at once fulfilled when she saw the path of Shri Radha in Braja being blocked by a certain person. Who is that certain person? Krishna only. So she likes that also. I offer my obeisances to Lalita Devi, who has many wonderful qualities. She always enjoys the festival of Radha and Brajendra Suta's meeting, and she is the chief of all Radha's dear girlfriends in Gokul. So of all the Ashtasakis, Lalita, Vishakha, Chitra, Champakleta, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Tungavidya, and Indulekha. And Lalita is the chief, foremost of all. She only appeared as Swarup Damodar Goswami, and under him only Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept Raghunath Das Goswami, who is our Prayojan Acharya. So it's very important. Under Lalita Sakhi, the chief is Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, who is our Abhidaya Acharya. Anyone who recites these prayers praising Lalita's wonderful qualities with a pure vision will be lovingly counted amongst her own friends or maidservants by Sri Radhika, the brilliant desire wine of the family of the Lord of Kirtida, King Vrishabhanu. So, this Ashtakam, Lalita Ashtakam, if anyone recites these prayers, then Radharani will accept him as one of the, or her as one of the maidservants. Srimati Lalita Devi ki jai. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 8th chapter, verse number, what is the verse number? Gunadhikan Mudam lives. Huh? 8.34. 34th verse of the 8th chapter, which is entitled Dhruva Maharaj Lives Home. Gunadhikan Mudam Lipset अनुक्रोशं गुणाधमात् किं समानाद् अन्विच्छेन् न तापैरभिभूयते गुणाधिकान् मुदं लिप्से अनुक्रोशं गुणाधमात् मैत्रीं समानाद् अन्विच्छेन् न तापैरभिभूयते गुणाधिकान् मुदं लिप्से अनुक्रोशं गुणाधमात् मैत्रीं समानाद् अन्विच्छेन् न तापैरभिभूयते Mataji, would like to? Okay. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Gunadhikat, one who is more qualified. Mudam, pleasure. Lipsit, one should feel. Anukrosham, compassion. Guna adhamat, one who is less qualified. Maitrim, friendship. Samanat, with an equal. Anvichet, one should desire. Na, not. Tapaihi, by tribulation. Abhibhuyate, becomes affected. Translation: every man should act like this. When he meets a person more qualified than himself, he should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified than himself, he should be compassionate toward him. And when he meets someone equal with him, in this way, one is never affected by the world. So, if we want to put an end to all your miseries, this is the formula. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Generally, when we find someone more qualified than ourselves, we become envious of him. When we find someone less qualified, we deride him. And when we find someone equal, we become very proud of our activities. These are the causes of all material tribulations. A great sage Narada therefore advised that a devotee should act perfectly. Instead of being envious of a more qualified man, one should be jolly to receive him. Instead of being oppressive to a less qualified man, one should be compassionate toward him, just to raise him to the proper standard. And when one meets an equal, instead of being proud of one's own activities before him, one should treat him as a friend. One should also have compassion for the people in general who are suffering due to forgetfulness of Krishna. These important functions will make one happy within this material world. So I'm happy to see His Grace Bhakti Vinod Prabhu. So by just having a darshan and becoming blissful, will rid me of all my miseries. His Grace Bhakti Vinod Prabhu ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam. This background for this, as we discussed earlier, when the son of Uttanpad, Dhruva, saw his younger brother or step brother sitting, Uttam sitting on the one lap of his father, he also desired to be there. When he tried to be there, his stepmother, Suruchi, became very angry and scolded him that you are not qualified to sit there because you have not taken birth from my womb. If you want to be there, then you have to intensely, with severe austerities, please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then only you will be qualified to take birth from my womb. Then you could be ascending to the lap of your father. When Dhruva was insulted like this, he goes to his mother, Suniti, who pacifies him and tells him what your mother is telling is properly. So you can worship the Supreme Lord. So then Dhruva decides to go to forest in order to worship the Lord. When he leaves the palace of Uttanapad and enters the forest, there, because Lord in the heart of Dhruva knows that he's very sincere. So Lord Chaitya Guru inside comes out in the form of Narad Muni as external Guru. And first Narad Muni tests him. And in his testing only, he gives him several things. He says like, this is not the age for going to forest in order to get Lord and all that. That you can do in later phase of your life. This is a time for playing. In the forest, there are very ferocious animals. You will be fearful. And don't take such words very seriously, etc. And then towards the end, because after this Dhruva speaks, so he says this word, this verse, Gunadikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichin nataper abhibhuyate. Because originally we envied Krishna and we came to this material world, we exhibit the same envy towards his children, other living entities. And in particular, among human beings, we'll exhibit that envy more because they are all around us. Mm. And in the devotees, that will be exhibited towards devotees, and we will be exhibited toward other devotees who are in our locality. Like devotees in Bangalore will not envy devotees in Pune, Delhi so much because the interaction is hardly happening there. And what to speak of devotees in London and Los Angeles, Sydney? We don't even know names, face, nothing we know. And what they are doing, that also most of the time we don't know. So envy will be exhibited towards those who are around us. And how we exhibit envy, Prabhupada is telling in the purport. But here it is said how not to exhibit envy. All these three are nothing but envy only, which takes different forms depending on who the person is. So if one is senior to him, somebody who is senior to us in devotional service, or for that matter, anywhere in material world also, in any hierarchy, in the companies and all that, people are very envious of those who are superior to them. So how to drag them down and get there? That's what happens. We find that in the case of that Punarmoshtika Bhava, Prabhupada tells that famous story. That rat was so much troubled by the cat, by the grace of the sage, he was elevated to the position of cat. And as soon as it became cat, immediately started chasing after rats, chastise them, kill them, beat them, eat them. So he became superior now. But then suddenly what happened? Some other dog came and started chasing him. So then again, he wanted to compete with him. So he wants to become competitor with him. So he's not qualified now. So he goes to Sage again, says, make me a dog. So Sage says, okay, be a dog. When he becomes dog, then he started chasing after cats. See how earlier when he was cat, he was trying to compete with other cats, trying to eat more rats and all that. Now when he's become dog, then he's chasing after cats. And then again, some tiger comes. He's fearful again goes to sage, please make me tiger. So he says, okay, be a tiger. And as he becomes tiger, then he starts competing with sage only. In a sense, he wants to eat him up. Then he's licking his lips with his tongue. Then sage says, what? I want to eat you. अच्छा, हमारी बिल्ली हमसे में और हमारा शेर हम हमें खाने चला. Okay, पुनर्मुष्टिक भव. May you again become a rat. May again become rat. Running now because it's very insignificant now. And there are so many other animals, cats, dogs, tigers, who are dangerous to it. So runs away. So this is precisely the mentality of every living entity, every human being. Everybody is envious originally of the Lord. Ichha Dvesha Samuttena, Dvando Mohena Bharat. And when he comes to this material world, he exhibits that envy in different ways. Envy only is the root cause. And it is exhibited depending on who the next person is in front. So when one sees senior, one becomes envious of him and wants to pull him down. But ideally, one should be very happy. He should be very pleased. Oh, here is a person who is having such a better consciousness than me in spiritual life. And in material world, sometimes you can see that people admire their heroes, like those who want to become great stars in cricket, etc. They will worship or adore Sachin Tendulkar or whosoever famous cricketers are there. Similarly, in the film industry, they will have great respect for some heroes, Amitabh Bachchan, somebody whosoever. They feel everybody may have different, and then they keep their photos and they speak highly about them and all that. But once they get higher and higher to that hierarchy in that ladder, and they come, let's say somebody comes at par with Amitabh Bachchan, then he will start competing with him. How to put him down and how I can go even higher than him. Though it's a little difficult because such person, because of his previous piety, maybe has got high elevation. But if one gets there, then when he'll start competing. All that. When I had gone to Hyderabad Film Nagari for NVCC temple opening, we wanted fund. So there is one big director, I don't know who, father of Venkatesh or Chiranjeev, who's a famous film star in Telugu movies. So his father, I don't remember his name. So to meet him, we had gone there. One devotee arranged my appointment. So when we met him, but when we were going there, we saw so many boys and girls, young boys and girls, hundreds. It's a huge complex in Hyderabad, and there they are all there somehow trying to get some side role in the movie, some side role, just some here and there. They may be getting payment of I don't know how much, 500 to 1,000, 2,000 side role like that. So get entry there, and then once you get there, side role, and somehow you speak some dialogue, one, two, three, and you become little famous. Then the director may give you little better role, more role, and eventually to become the main star, main hero of the movie, and then eventually become best hero in the whole world, or at least in India first, and like that. So this is how one wants to go high, high, high. Ultimately, one wants to compete with Krishna only. That's what Prabhupada says. The last layer of Maya is to think that I am only God. I am Krishna. Who is this Krishna? Poundrag is a very typical grass example of this. Say, hey, Krishna, who are you? I am Vasudev. Give up all your instrument, means weapons. Release your Sudarshan. I will release it and cut off your head only. You want to get it, no? Take it here. So he's very grossly exhibiting that, the big demon, and we are subtly exhibiting the same mentality of the demon only. So the demoniac mentality is there very much in us, in human beings, in everyone, in human beings, and even in devotees also. So that side is there, other side. So one has to be extremely careful, and that's why we face a lot of difficulties in chanting Hare Krishna, because chanting Hare Krishna means Krishna, I am your servant, and I will worship you with whole heart, and etc. And the other time of the day, then you say, Krishna, who are you? I am no less. Oh, I will just put you down. I will brush you aside. So that mentality, it becomes a very contrast. So that's why one will be smashed and defeated by Krishna in the form of holy name during chanting. Because one's mentality is not proper. One has not worked on the envy. One has to subordinate himself to Krishna through subordinating oneself to his representatives, to Guru or Guru's representative. One has to serve him like a humble menial servant. Do all, his plate washing, his clothes washing, the floor washing, and anything he spits. So you should collect that spittoon, whatever that is, and then put it aside. Then he spits somewhere else. You should be ready to do that. He passes stool, you pick it up. In the outside world, the dogs are passing stool. And it's a rule. I think even in India now, it's there in London and America, that is not allowed. You have to pay fine. You have to collect yourself. As the dog takes the position, and the master immediately understands. Immediately he takes out his hat and he keeps it below his tail, waiting when the Mahaprasad will fall. What a fool rascal is. So this is actually to be done towards Guru, like Ishwar Puri did for Madhvendra Puri. What a humble menial servant of Madhvendra Puri. That's why Madhvendra Puri blessed him. My dear child, may love for Krishna develop in your heart. So why love for Krishna? Krishna only became his disciple in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna prem is automatic. That is secondary byproduct. So this is the glory. So one should become humble menial servant, and one should be very happy to come in touch with such seniors. And the problem is, when one is young devotee in ISKCON, he wants to go up, 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 and wants to become the top devotee, second founder Acharya. Many times I say. So then he wants to be on the top. But the problem is, as you go top with that wrong mentality of envy, you will go in the material hierarchy, in the ISKCON management, one will go up. But when he once goes reaches top, he will feel lonely. By putting everybody else aside, he has gone up there, discarding all the blessing. He will feel lonely. He will not be able to relish Krishna consciousness. He will find it very dry, boring, hackneyed, and then he will go down. He will go away also. So this is how it happens to many, because anartha nivritti has not taken place. One has not come to nishtha and all that, because blessings of the superiors have not been achieved. Because one had not subordinated himself to superiors, one has not pleased them, one has not acted as their humble menial servant. So then that external hierarchy, one will go by so many things. By committing aparadhas, you will be elevated to higher posts. I think last time I told that because I heard from His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu. I think I told in Bangalore only. So that I like that point, that Daksha was one of the Prajapatis. As he offended Lord Shiva, what we see in fourth canto, as he offended, after that event happened, Shiva left. But after that event, Brahma made Prajapati Daksha the head of all the Prajapatis. He was one of the Prajapatis. You understand? No? A committee member and the head of the committee. So he became the head of after offending. So Kamal Lochan Prabhu's point I liked very much. And as you offend, you will be going up in the hierarchy, material hierarchy. You will be elevated materially. So be careful. If you are getting elevated in material hierarchy, then could be that there are many offenses that are happening. And then from there, one will commit more offenses. And then one will fall down. Daksha was beheaded only. Head fell down. Then it was too difficult because goat's head was put. That is unbearable. Just imagine you go in mirror and you want to see and Krishna, the goat's head is there. The horns are there and the beard is there and the ears are hanging there. How it will look like? So poor fellow could not tolerate. Then he only fell down. In a sense, he gave up that body. And then he had to appear next time because he offended a lot. He was Brahman earlier, born from Brahma. Next time he had to appear as a Kshatriya, Daksha, as the son of 10 Prachetas. So one should be very pleased by seeing superiors. One should not become envious, try to drag them down. He should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified than himself, he should be compassionate toward them. So many things are there I want to say, and let's see. So one should be very happy. One should be compassionate. One should feel, oh, this devotee, and he needs Krishna. All the miseries of his life are because he's missing Krishna in his life. So I have been given Krishna by my superiors, by Guru. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dete paro, tomara shakati ache. Ami to kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. All throughout my life, I have been always running behind my spiritual master, asking him, you have Krishna, please give me Krishna, oh my dear spiritual master. So I have received not full Krishna because I have been going on, but whatever I have received, he has not received. Let me offer Krishna to him to the degree he is able to take up. So like that, one should feel compassion, just like we feel for our younger brother, sister. Like we may be good in mathematics, we are seniors to our younger sister, brother, and they don't know they're struggling with some matrices, derivatives, integration, something. So then we know, oh, you do this like this, you have to do. You do like this. And oh, brother, amazing. You are so intelligent. Oh, that is not my glory. I learned from my teachers. My teacher, similarly, I had similar difficulty like you. I approached my teacher and he said exactly what I have told you. He told me everything. And when I learned from him, I understood the crux of the whole thing. That's what I told you now. So you understand. Immediately passing on the glory to teacher, the superior. Not that, yeah, this formula of matrices I only created from my brain, from my head. No, that I learned from my teacher. The teacher should also say that I learned from my teacher, like that. So that is the beauty. So one should feel compassion for those who have less Krishna with them. And sometimes, as Prabhupada says towards the end, one should also have compassion for the people in general who are suffering due to forgetfulness of Krishna. So they, in one sense, they don't have Krishna only. Like in India now, what is going on now this season. The people are worshipping so many demigods and all that. So they have gone far away from Krishna and running after some demigod to get some worldly possession. Or at best, some of them who have some knowledge may want to go to heaven and enjoy there. It's all dharma, artha, kam, moksha is all kaitava dharma. So that is not good. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmacharanam satam. So that is super in a very so-called sophisticated way of showing one's envy towards Krishna through dharma, artha, kam, moksha. That's why that has to be abandoned. But unfortunately, these people go and many others glorify them. Oh, he's so pious. He worshipped this demigod, that demigod. For what? For all material reasons. So he is getting cheated like anything, and he's cheater number one also. One should not run after that, and one should feel compassion for such people. They have no Krishna. So let me give them Krishna in some way or the other. And let me give book, Krishna book maybe, or Bhagavad Gita, something. Because they are pious, they may think, okay, Krishna is also one such demigod. Ganesh is there, Shiva is there, Durga is there. Like that, Krishna is also there. So one can give them Krishna in some way, or prasad we can give, or invite them to temple by our nice behavior, etc. So they also have to be given Krishna to whatever degree they can. And among devotees have Krishna but less Krishna than us. And so I have more Krishna, so let me give. And it's not my glory that I have so much Krishna. That is the glory of my spiritual master. He has unlimited Krishna. My fallacy is I have not received full Krishna. But whatever I have received is little more than this devotee. Let me offer him Krishna. So that should be the understanding with those who are subordinate. When he meets someone equal to himself, he should make friendship with him. In this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of this material world. So with equals, one should be very friendly. His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj said the formula should be 20, 60, 20. With seniors, 20% of association over the period of time. In the beginning, with seniors, it's like 100% association. Just like the child born infant is all the time with mother. In fact, in her arms only, touching completely. He was inside her body. As he comes out, he's completely touched with the body of the mother, more or less 24 hours. Sometimes if he sleeps, she may keep him down. Otherwise, he's again on her arms only, all the time touching her body. But as the time passes by, he's also growing in the body. Slowly, slowly, mother will keep him down. Then he starts crawling. And so the touch with the body of the mother reduces. Then he starts walking. And then the further touch will be reduced. Then he starts running. And touch is more reduced. Then he goes to school. 8 hours, 10 hours, he's in the school only. So touch is further. And then eventually he may go to hostel somewhere far away, once in month, once in 3, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year. He may come back. So touch is even lesser. So internally, it should be bond should be increasing. Initially, the child was completely ignorant. What that mother is, he doesn't understand. Only milk giver. That's all. My Annamoy coach only. But as he is growing, his intelligence is growing. Then he understands the glories of mother. Oh, this lady is toiling like anything for me. So even if he goes farther and farther away from her body, his appreciation for her keeps increasing with every passing day, month, and year. And as he grows into adult, it should be so much gratitude toward mother that this lady, she underwent so much for me. So it should be like that. So similarly with senior, the touch will reduce physically, maybe. Very rarely somebody will be so fortunate to be the personal servant of spiritual master or some senior devotee. So touch will reduce, but internal appreciation, gratitude, respect should be very high. That is the sign of advancement in spiritual life. So one should see that friends are there. So one should be very happy. So these friends can give me Krishna. We can share Krishna. Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That is precisely with equals one can do. So I was telling 20% with seniors, 60% with equals, because our spiritual progress will depend on our equals. Whenever you go wrong, your equals will correct you. Seniors may not be there only, or if they are there, they may think little bit, that his false ego, he has put some armor around him. So what to do? They will think little bit. But your equal will be so blunt sometime. He will just slap you, shaved head. You're proud of your shaved head. He'll tap there and, अरे बोल क्या कर रहे प्रभु, पागल हो गए क्या? He has the guts. No junior can do that. Junior, even if you are sleeping in Japan, juniors will think, oh, Prabhu is gone in Samadhi. And he's doing communication with Krishna. like that. Like Rutrasur, for 1 full year, Indra was cutting his head. But Rutrasur was in deep Samadhi. So our senior is gone in deep Samadhi. Like that. And senior may think, oh, he's sitting in his counseling group, surrounded by all his, like Indra surrounded by all the demigods when Brihaspati came. So maybe in the daytime I'll tell him. If at all senior is around to see. So only equals are the ones who are saviors, who will directly tell you. But unfortunately, one will become competitor with them, one will go away. Most of the people, almost all people who have fallen away from the path of Krishna, the reasons analyzed, the strongest reason is because they were not having any equal association. Senior like Prabhupada left in 1977. But after that, they did not have much association of equals. They became big. Lot of money came, funds they collected, books they got distributed, temples built, so many things. But in the process, they did not carefully take association of their equals. And then when Maya attacked, there were no seniors like Prabhupada, Guru is gone. And the juniors, no matter what happened, they said always great. Like one of the persons, I'll not tell the name, but he had some difficulty in body. So for massage, somebody was required. So for massage, one young beautiful girl came and scantily dressed. So she would come daily to give him massage. So in the position of Guru, so all the disciples are thinking Guru Maharaj is undisturbed. What will happen? So she would come, she would take him inside the room for massaging. Now he will have to remove clothes. There will be some clothes, but most of the, so that cannot be public appearance. It has to be done privately. So then she would come, she would latch the room from inside, and she agitated him, because some say that she was sent by some others, because he was a big leader in ISKCON. So he had to be made to fall down. So how to do through girl is very good. So then she agitated his Mooladhara Chakra, etc. And then eventually it was a big loss for ISKCON. So the juniors will always think, oh, so great. Our senior is so great. But he may not be that great. And even if he's great, Maya is very powerful. Maya can consume greater. Maybe the greatest devotee who is in the mood of servant, he may be saved. But otherwise, Maya is very, very powerful. Mama Maya Duratya. So the juniors cannot save, seniors can save but may not be around. So equals are best. That's why 60% of their association and 20% giving association to those being surrounded by those who are younger ones and giving them Krishna consciousness to whatever degree they are able to take. So that is the formula to be followed. Not followed, then so many tribulations will come. So all that has to be followed exactly. If something goes here and there, that much misery will come in life. If one follows this formula given by Narad Muni, 100%, he will have 100% eradication of miseries from his life and 100% happiness. So all these are nothing but expressions of envy only. So I got a very nice purport by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on 11th canto, 29th chapter, verse 15, I think. Related to this only. So that verse purport translation is, he who constantly meditates upon my presence. Krishna is telling to Uddhav Gita, 11th canto, 29th chapter, 15th verse. He who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons, everybody, Anugraha, Achyut Prabhu has Krishna in his heart, Milan Prabhu has, Hemang Haldar Prabhu has, Raja Krishna Prabhu. Everybody has Krishna in their heart. He who constantly meditates, any devotee comes in front of you, you have to know Krishna has come to me. in his heart is there, isn't it? He who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons quickly destroys rivalry, envy, and abusiveness along with false ego. Here, three things are told, but here, fourth thing is also there. Along with false ego, this will be all removed. Now, purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In order to destroy faults like rivalry, one must see me everywhere. Krishna is saying, one must see him everywhere. Then only rivalry will go away. What do you say, rivalry? Enmity, like that. Competition for that matter. One competes with equals, envies superiors, and chastises inferiors. And so maybe Prabhupada got these three things in the purport Prabhupada mentioned. From this verse, I did not see, I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary for this verse. Maybe there also he might be mentioning. But if not, here definitely it is there. Though Prabhupada had not given us the purport to 11th canto 29th chapter, but he had gone through the whole thing. In his early days, even as a Grihastha, he was associating with his god brothers like his Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Swami Maharaj, who had just given Gaudiya Mutt, because whole Gaudiya Mutt was into faction, all disintegrated, court fights were going on. So these sincere souls, disciples of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they wanted to preach. They knew that is the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So they were not having anything because so much of fights were going on. So they requested Prabhupada, can we have here? So Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Swami Maharaj was given loft. Prabhupada's house was there above the first floor. So their Gaudiya Mutt branch of what is that area of Kolkata. So Prabhupada had the fortune as a Grihastha that my god brother is staying up. He's a sannyasi, such a scholar, Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Maharaj. So every day Prabhupada at around 7 o'clock or so morning, he would go and discuss Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Vedic literatures with Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Maharaj. And because there are hardly any preaching those days, Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Maharaj are also quite free. So Prabhupada would take his association like anything and discuss a lot of Krishna Katha and philosophy with him. Sometimes it would become like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So nothing is taken, no prasadam is taken. So then the disciple is concerned, Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj, that Guru Maharaj has not taken anything. And because Bhakti Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada's sannyas name, Swami Maharaj is there. So Guru Maharaj is going in his association. So and he is hungry. Without Guru taking, he cannot take. So then he would come and then he would see still they are going on. So then he would say, how long you will go on like this? Prasadam is waiting. You have not taken prasad. Please take. But internally maybe, unless you would both take, I cannot take prasad. So Prabhupada very much, he had such friendly relationship with Bhakti Pragyan Keshu Maharaj, Bhakti Rakshak Siddha Swami Maharaj, Bon Maharaj. So many pastimes are there. If you want to read in that book, Our Srila Prabhupada, A Friend to All, by Her Grace Mula Prakriti Mataji. What I told you is from that book only. So such thick relationship Prabhupada had with his equals. Very amazing. You will be stunned to see Prabhupada's friendly relationship with his god brothers. Amazing. I can say that the perfection of life would be to know what relationship Prabhupada had. That's how he became successful. Absolutely no miseries. And 12 years, he expanded all over the world Krishna consciousness. So he says, one competes with equals, envies superiors. Like I will tell in that context only. So many things we can speak. Like once it was, I think in Vrindavan or somewhere, Surya Kund, near Surya Kund or somewhere, Gaudiya Mutt was there, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. So Prabhupada as a Grihastha, he went there. And then because they are equal, they are god brothers, they sat on some kind of cot, some wooden thing. So they were all sitting there, some were sitting down. So then Prabhupada, they were having philosophical discussions, god brothers. So Prabhupada asked a very challenging question to Bhakti Pragyan Keshav, to all god brothers. Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj is very senior. So he asked a very challenging question. And all are stunned now. My God, what is the answer for this question? They all were with her in scriptures, but even they are stunned. They are not able to find out what is the answer. Then Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj thought for a while, and then he answered, very perfectly answered. And Prabhupada had asked in a very challenging mood. They are God brothers, no? Sakhyaras. So Prabhupada had asked in a very challenging mood. And now none of you will be able to answer. In friendship, it's fine. There is no envy there. So then Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj answered. And Prabhupada was stunned. My God, how he knows? Immediately Prabhupada jumped from, because he was on some platform like this. He jumped down and paid obeisance. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Amazing. He was heartily appreciating Bhakti Pragyan Keshav. Immediately Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj jumped down. He also paid obeisance. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya. He also paid obeisances back. So they were such thick relationship. Amazing. You can read that book and marvel at Prabhupada's how he was champion of relationships with equals. It is most difficult. It's most difficult to be able to gel with equals. One competes with equals, envies superiors. So Prabhupada never envied. Even for that matter, Prabhupada many times says fools and rascals. And Mayavadi comes in front of Prabhupada, means Prabhupada will smash like anything. But when Prabhupada went to Madras, His Holiness Giraj Swami Maharaj was trying to preach there. Then when he invited Prabhupada, Prabhupada was introduced to one man by him. And that man was some 92-year-old man. And Prabhupada was something like 80, 82. So he's senior to Prabhupada in age. So when Prabhupada was dealing with him, he had Mayavadi tents in his speech and all. So Prabhupada dealt with him very respectfully. No fools, rascals, nothing. So Prabhupada was very careful. He knew how to respect even everyone for that matter, according to their status, spiritual status. He envies. One competes with equals, envies superiors, and chastises inferiors. So because of superiority complex, there is inflated false ego. And because of inferiority complex, there is frustrated false ego. So in our interactions with others, it depends on which mode one is in. If one is in the mode of ignorance, he has frustrated false ego. He's defeated so many times in his attempts, so many ways. So he will be very frustrated. And some other times, he will have superiority complex because he has conquered so many things and he has been successful in so many projects he run, and this happened, that happened. I brought so much of funds, I distributed so many books. So that inflated false ego will be there, superiority complex. And in front of such a person, if some junior comes who is not so accomplished, he is not so much able to distribute books, then he will chastise him. The envy is there and it will come out in the form of chastisement. Next sentence is very important. If only we can remember this, we will be conquerors in our life. If one sees me everywhere, then how can one compete with me, envy me, or chastise me? So understood? So some inferior person has come and one chastises him. But if one understands Krishna has come, Krishna has come means Krishna is in his heart, not Mayavad concept that he is Krishna. He is not Krishna. But Krishna is kindly residing in his heart. You may say that, oh, you are a rascal. What you know? You know nothing. One may chastise inferior. But if he knows nothing, why is Krishna residing in his heart? Is he fit for nothing? And Krishna is a full number one, that he is sitting in his heart. Though he is unfit, he is fit for nothing. Is Krishna a fool or Krishna is most intelligent person? So our own philosophical understanding, our own understanding is checked in our relationship with others around us. So very nicely he's telling Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, if one sees me everywhere, then how can one compete with me? If he's senior or equal, envy me or chastise me. So when senior comes in front of me, equal comes in front of me, or younger devotee comes in front of me, or any materialistic person, any insect, anybody comes in front of me, Krishna is only approaching me. He's coming in front of me. He's sitting. So how am I going to deal with Krishna? If I'm not able to see Krishna in him, then I will misbehave. I will wrongly, then if he's senior, so to say, in the material hierarchy, I will try to pull him down. If he's junior, I will try to suppress him and chastise him. If he's equal, I'll compete with him and try to prove to him that I'm superior to him. In 4.34, Krishna said, Tadvidhi Pranipatan. If one wants transcendental knowledge, one must approach a self-realized bona fide spiritual master, then inquire from him submissively and ask questions and render service. So what they will impart knowledge by which one can because they have seen the truth, they have seen the absolute truth, not only truths of this world. There may be some so-called gurus in the world who are not bona fide gurus. They may tell us some truths of this world which are anyway going to change. They are not permanent truths, they are not absolute truths. Just like driving on left side is the rule in India, but in America this rule is bogus. Immediately one will be charged very heavily if he drives on the left side. He has to drive on the right side. So these are the truths, temporary truths. Valid here, not valid there. Valid now, not valid after some time. Just like that, what is that? दो हाथ की दूरी, mask है जरूरी. So where is that rule now? That time, how was that rule? My God, without that rule, you might die also. दो हाथ की दूरी, mask है जरूरी. Wearing mask, keeping distance from others. Now what happened to that rule? That rule is outdated now. No, useless rule now. Now wearing mask will be suffocating. Not required at all. Fresh air, let it go all over. So these are not the truths, the real truth. He imparts. They can impart knowledge because they have seen the truth. So what is that truth that Krishna says in 4.35? Yagyatva punarmoham gyasasi. What is that slogan? I want to memorize this slogan. Not yet memorized it. So if by that knowledge which they impart, that by that knowledge you will see that all living entities are mine. They are in me. They are my parts and parcels. Yagyatva punarmoham evam yasasi pandavah yena bhutani asheshani drakshasi atmani atho maya. So all living entities are in me. So they are mine. Krishna is so possessive. And that is fact also. What? That is a fact. Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We belong to Krishna. We are Krishna's children. So Krishna is saying they are mine. So how do we have the right to chastise anyone? We don't have a right to chastise anyone. For their betterment, we can, but free from envy. Anybody who chastises juniors out of envy, he will fall down. He will experience some immediate fall down. And if he doesn't give up that wrong behavior, he will fall down externally also. So one has to be careful not to be envious. Pure devotee, absolutely free from envy. Envy is the disease. What is the symptom? Fault finding. Envy is the disease. Symptom is fault finding. Just like if I have fever, the symptom is anybody touches my body and I touch my body, it will be on a high temperature, more than normal. If I have cold, I'll be sneezing in between. Nose will be running. So symptom reveals what is the disease of the next person. So when we are seeing faults in others, the disease is envy. So we should not see any fault. This is Krishna's world. Everything is perfect. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Everything is complete. Prabhupada's famous statement in Sri Shuknishad first verse purport. All sorts of incompleteness is experienced due to the incomplete understanding of the complete whole. C capital, complete whole, W capital, referring to Krishna. Krishna is complete. Everything that comes from him is complete. So there is nothing incomplete in the creation. Incomplete is your knowledge, your understanding. Because of you find incompleteness in the whole world. There is no problem. Vishwam Purana Sukhayati. Vidhi Mahendra Dishya Kitayati. So in order to surrender to Krishna, whatever lacking in the younger devotee, one has the right to correct them. But he has to be free from envy. If he, out of malice, envy, he corrects or he chastises, then he himself will be in trouble. That devotee may have some problem for which he was chastised. This superior will have bigger problem than even the younger devotee because of his envy, exhibiting envy. The leader has to be free from envy. So, Uttamadhikari free from envy. Nindadi shunyam hridam ipsitaya sangalabdya. For all the three, Srila Rupa Goswami in the fifth verse, Krishna, in the which one? Yeah, that one only. Krishna yasya giritam manasa dhariyata dikshasti chet pranati vishya bhajantamisham shushrushaya bhajanam yajnam ananya manya. So in these three lines, he has described three. Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. And how a Madhyamadhikari deals with these three. For Uttamadhikari, he is telling some special thing. Nindadi shunyam rudham ipsitaya sanga labdhya. The characteristic of Uttamadhikari is Nindadi shunyam. He is absolutely free from tendency to criticize others. I think long before I had told His Holiness, here only all of us have experienced, in that Prem Milan festival, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj had told, before His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj arrived, Maharaj was going to come little later. Meanwhile, Maharaj, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was speaking. He is saying, in my last 40 or 44 years of interactions with His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, I have not seen Maharaj criticizing, chastising any devotee in public. He had so much association of Maharaj. 40 plus years, 4 decades. And not even once he saw Maharaj criticizing or chastising any devotee in public. Privately, he might have, because disciple goes wrong. It's the duty of the guru to correct him, to bring him to proper path, so that he becomes wonderful servant of Krishna, Guru, and Vaishnavas. So that is okay, but not in public. So how amazing! It's very difficult. If trying to control one's anger, etc., is very very difficult. So one should not fall prey to such vices. So he says, one competes with equals, envies superiors, and chastises inferiors. If one sees me everywhere, then how can one compete with me, envy me, or chastise me? If one sees Brahman within oneself, how can one have ahankar? So Krishna is residing in us also. He is residing in everybody's heart. How is he not residing in my heart? So if one sees Brahman within oneself, how can one have ahankar? Because Krishna is present. That's why all my influence is there. That's why people are attracted to me. If Krishna leaves my heart, then soul will leave the heart. Means I will leave the heart, and then this body, who will be attracted to the knowledge in that body, power in that body? There's nothing there existing. No knowledge, no power, no beauty, nothing that we are feeling very high of ourselves or that will not exist if Krishna leaves. So Krishna is there in the heart. That's why. So if one sees Brahman within oneself, how can one have ahankar? Viyanti means destroyed. That is one of the words there. Spardha, asuya, tiraskarau, sahankarau, viyantihi. So he will get rid of all these four. That rivalry, envy, and what is the last? Chastising others. Also gives the fourth, abusiveness. Abusiveness. That means chastising others and all that. So that is not appropriate. One should give up all these voices and one should become a wonderful devotee. To become a wonderful devotee is the greatest service to all the Vaishnavas, to Guru, to Acharyas, and to Krishna. Very well behaved devotee. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say that Vaishnava etiquettes are the ornaments in the life of a devotee which make him beautiful in the eyes of Krishna. Krishna is most beautiful. He attracts Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. So one who attracts millions of cupids toward him, what can he be attracted to? There's nothing in the creation that can attract him. But Srimati Radharani attracts Krishna. She's Madan Mohan Mohini. Krishna is Madan Mohan, the enchanter of the whole world. But Srimati Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini, the enchantress of the enchanter of the enchanter of the whole world. So that Radharani only gets exhibited in devotee's life in the form of his devotional qualities, which are manifested externally through Vaishnava etiquette. So how one behaves very nicely, so that is Radharani's manifestation. Just like we are parts and parcels of Krishna, the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Our devotion is part and parcel of Srimati Radharani. So when Srimati Radharani is exhibited in the devotee's life in the form of very nice behavior, Krishna gets attracted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Krishna gets attracted to such a devotee. Oh, such a wonderful devotee. He behaves so very nicely with others. And he has no envy, he has no false ego, false pride. He just thinks himself to be the humble servant of all the Vaishnavas and every living entity also. So such a devotee will be beacon light for the whole world. Prabhupada is such a amazing person. The more we hear about him, we see that just like one pastime, maybe you can tell. When they were at the airport and devotees were all surrounding Prabhupada, and it was creating some problem for the airport authorities because so many people who are not going to travel, only one passenger is there, Prabhupada. And so many others are just crowding and creating little problem for the airport, whatever that. So then they requested the top devotee, whosoever they found. And then Prabhu, or whatever, sir, could you please move to that side? Your person who is traveling, your Swamiji can be there. Others should move to the other side somewhere. So then that devotee announced. So Hare Krishna Prabhus, all the devotees are requested to go to that side because it is creating little disturbance for the authorities here. So all of you please move that side. Immediately everybody got up. Prabhupada also got up. Prabhupada was also going there. He said, no, Prabhupada, not you. That is for others. Prabhupada said, am I not a devotee? You said all the devotees should move. Prabhupada humbly said, am I not a devotee? No, Prabhupada, you are going to travel. You should sit here. Like, so Prabhupada was so humble. He thought himself to be also one of them. In GBC meeting, he would sit. And what do they know? They were GBCs, but they were infants only in one sense. So, but Prabhupada would sit there and he would also act as one of the GPC members and he would raise hand. He was waiting. In fact, before that, this is okay anyway, GPC is something. But much before, when he was with the hippies, in the toilet for entering, there was only one toilet and so many of them. So Prabhupada sometimes would be third or fourth in the queue. And he would exactly follow the rule that, the first person will come out, then second person who is standing outside, he will go and then he will, whatever, then he will come out, then the third person, and then Prabhupada turn comes, then Prabhupada will enter in the toilet. He's Jagat Guru, he's going to deliver the whole world. And how humbly, and they are who? They are paying the rent or what? Most of the time they were the parasites only. Prabhupada only paying rent with the help of some others. And Prabhupada is following. How difficult it is. When we walk in, we want everybody, shh, everybody move aside. पता नहीं क्या कौन आ रहा है समटाइम डिवोटीज अरे महाराज आ रहे महाराज आ रहे अजू अजय महाराज को महाराज कोई है ही नहीं ही ओनली वांट्स टू पास थ्रू तो otherwise difficult to pass through. He knows the formula. महाराज आ रहे हरे हरे हरि बोल बाजू हट जाइए उनको लगता है कि वही महाराज आ गए यही है महाराज सेल्फ अपॉइंटेड महाराज nobody else in the creation accepts that he is Maharaj, but he only knows that he is Maharaj. So if only we can become wonderful devotees, that would be the greatest service. Prabhupada would be most pleased. All our accomplishments mean nothing if we are not good in our relationship with other Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Seva is the topmost thing. Even for that matter, Nam Sankirtan also happens because of Vaishnavas only. They only gave us mala, they only told us holy name, and they only help us to chant. Thadya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Paiche Keva. So many times Prabhupada in the purports, in the books writes, if one gives up the service to Vaishnavas, how would he be delivered? Impossible. By giving up service to Vaishnavas, one can't be delivered. No matter how long he goes on chanting Hare Krishna. He can go on chanting for millions of lifetimes. But if he is not serving Vaishnavas, it's just not possible. I think the other day we discussed about Kanchipurna, or not here, maybe somewhere else. So Kanchipurna, we can see he was personally worshipping, he was personally waving the chamar for Lord Varadaraj in Kanchipuram. So many devotees would ask him so many questions, ask Lord, because he would directly communicate with the Lord. Lord Varadaraj would speak also, whatever. So he would ask, devotee would say, no, just ask whether my wife will become devotee, my son will become devotee. So then he would ask and Lord would answer and then he would get back. So one devotee asked that, could you ask whether I would be going back to Godhead after this life? Could you please ask the Lord? He said, okay, I will ask. So then he asked, oh Lord Varadaraj, he's asking the devotee so and so, that would he go back home, back to Godhead after this life? Lord said, yes, he's a wonderful devotee, he's going, surely. So then he told him, but then now Kanchipurna got a question, what about me? He is going back to Godhead. I'm so surely I will go because I'm so much close to the Lord, I'm communicating with the Lord, but still to be extra careful. So he asked, Lord, would I go back to Godhead after this life? Lord said, no, my dear Kanchipurna, you won't go. Why, Lord? No, because you have not served any of my Vaishnavas. You are only serving me. You are not served a single Vaishnava. So you cannot go. What am I doing here? He kept the chamar down, he left, gave up the service. Then he went all around, he was searching who will give him service because he was so famous. Everybody knew he has so much communication. Communication master. Said high communication with Lord. Who will give him service? So then he went some far off place and changed his attire, etc. Appeared to be very simple, unknown Vaishnava there. And they did not know so much. So they gave him some service. Some few months he served. And when he came back to Kanchipuram, he again took the chamar and started doing so. Lord, I have served a few of your devotees. What now? Lord said, now you will go back to God. Now you have rendered service to Vaishnavas. You will go back. Then he was peaceful. So see, very clearly, in clear terms, it is made to everyone. Without serving Vaishnavas, one cannot go back to God. Okay, I will end here. Any question? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Understand how important it is to be the Lord in the heart. So usually many times we get this question that when we deal with the people outside,
You didn't call the word as
They're all devotees. Everybody is pure devotee, but they are covered. Different degrees of covering. We are also covered. They are also covered. Maybe they are covered more, like that.
how we have that conception that there will be some amount of cheating, exploiting from this and it works.
That we don't allow because our whole property belongs to Krishna, including our body and everything. So we should not allow that. We can act little modestly, whatever is required. That will, details we have to learn from our superiors. What is the situation and all that. Like sometimes auto fellows they may be charging more. Sometimes they may say no luggage ka 10 rupees, 20 rupees. And we may say, but that was not told before. We are going by out of fare and all that. No, no, but you have so much luggage and all that. So sometimes you may have to give also because otherwise they create a scene in public and try to uh, reduce the reputation of ISKCON, etc. Knowingly, unknowingly. So we'll have to learn that Krishna will give that intelligence. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yenama upayantite. Krishna will help. The more we become sincere practitioners in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will help us to act in a very proper way.
To reconcile, understanding that God is that His heart, and now I have to deal with it in a way that cannot be.
Yes, but he is unaware of Lord sitting in his heart. He's forgetful of the Lord, and he's trying to cheat the Lord by cheating, by taking your money or whatever that resources. So you have to help him to become remember the Lord, acting in a proper way. So by which he's forget because though he is Krishna is in his heart, but he's forgetful of that reality. So you have to bring him to Krishna, and that means sometimes even chastising also depends on who the next person. That's why I said, and Guru also can chastise the disciple. And that's what helps the disciple to go closer to Krishna. The goal is to get him closer to Krishna. Goal is not that you have to subordinate yourself to me. We have to go closer to Krishna, and for that, whatever it is, just like sometimes parents have to slap the child also because he's not just listening, not becoming proper obedient. That is also fine. So that what to do at a particular time, that only Paramatma can inspire based on how sincere we are. If we go conduct ourselves by false ego or by envy, then we'll misbehave. Though we can justify always, no, I was proper only because he was trying to cheat me. But it will be a misbehavior because we are still infested with envy and false ego. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Told that when it goes silent.
That from Kamal Lochandra's conclusion, and it is true also the past time shows Daksha was elevated as the head of all the Prajapatis. Spiritual life also, one will get elevated. See, when one goes higher in the post position, he gets more resources to be able to serve more and more Vaishnavas in a better and better way. So that will also happen. If one is free from all offenses, he will also go up in consciousness predominantly, mainly. And externally also he may go if it is required. Krishna feels that this devotee is wonderful Vaishnava. Let him go in ISKCON hierarchy or whatever that spiritual hierarchy. Let him go up there also. So that way also one will progress. But this way also,
We don't correct. Then how will they? How will they know?
no, first of all, whether he is at fault. When we correct, when he is at fault, then only. And whether he will, Krishna will be pleased with that, Guru will be pleased, the way you are correcting, etc. That has to be seen. Otherwise, we are not just a self-appointed, what you call, correctors. Everywhere I have to correct everyone. That is not required. Only in the service of Krishna, if something is happening in a wrong way through that devotee, and there is a way to correct also. It's not all the time chastising, shouting, yelling, and becoming angry. You can peacefully tell him also, Prabhu. Like yesterday, I gave an example of somebody speaking, criticizing in management, etc. And so first we'll be calling him, say, Prabhu, don't spoil the ether of Krishna by speaking ill about devotees. We request you not to speak. What problem you have? You feel devotees are competing for post position. Where you found that? Like that. So trying to correct him in a proper way without raising voice, etc. That can be, isn't it? Only when he's not listening, then some other ways will have to be adopted. But that also with respect, without envy. If you conduct yourself by envy, you will have bigger difficulty than him also. Lead means lead servant. Leader means servant leader. So lead doesn't mean just like now I'm taking lead in class. Doesn't mean that I become the boss. I am the lead servant. I have to act in the most humble way as a servant of all the Vaishnavas. This is opportunity for me to serve so many Vaishnavas. I can also sit down and serve one Vaishnava who is giving Bhagavatam class, and other Vaishnavas by my sincerity, inspiring. Okay, this Prabhu is also taking humble role and listening. But here is also another opportunity by which I can take the blessings of more Vaishnavas by serving them. You understand? So sitting here doesn't mean that I am a highly elevated person. No, I'm very lowly, and Vaishnavas want to just even the garland also. If sometimes in the outside public, if we are put garland in the lecture, so many outside people they clap hand. Vaishnavas never clap hand because outside people think, oh, he's very prestigious fellow, some very high person. He's given also high seat and he's given garland. कोई तो मान प्रतिष्ठित व्यक्ति है. But what is the understanding? I'm very lowly fallen. My mind is crazy. I cannot speak in parampara properly. So I need empowerment. I'm powerless fellow. This is empowerment. Lord's mercy. This garland is coming. So now I have some hope, some confidence. Okay, Lord's mercy coming through Vaishnav. I think I can speak something properly. You understand? Not that, yes. You see, only I have garland, nobody else. That's a crazy, foolish person. So lead doesn't means whenever we take lead, that means your consciousness is of the servant of the servant of the servant more than anybody else. That is what it means to be a leader. Not that I am the better in cooking. I take lead because all others are fools. They don't know how to cook. I know everything. How much salt to put? 10,000 kg in this. 1 kg sabji. So that is not called as leadership. Servant leader. Even outside the companies, it seems they use those terms, servant leader, etc. So how can in devotional life we ahankar vimudatma karta ham iti manyate. Just like I gave this class. If sound system, this microphone would have been removed from the beginning only. What can I speak? Okay, I can speak something. Some few devotees here will Mataji will be shouting there. What, Prabhu? Awaaz badao. Softly you are speaking. And if I raise my voice to so that they can hear, then voice will go down. So wise people raise a lot of voice. Wise is our youth organization. Vedic Oasis for inspiration, culture, and education. So sometimes the leader goes, voice leader. He goes in the voice and he raises his voice like anything. Then he's removed from the post. So that's why my assistant in NIT Warangal voice, I would always tell him, he's Gris Mandali Badaru. He was a brahmachari then. I would tell him that in the Warangal voice, there are two damages. One is called as Sundarshyam Das, another is called as Mandali Badra Das. These two damagers, whatever damage they do for 12 days of the month, Krishna, the real manager of voice, NIT Warangal voice, he sets right everything. In 18 days, he makes everything smooth. Again, these two damages come. In 12 days, they destroy anything. Then the real manager, Krishna, he sets everything right for 18. And he would be so upset. Oh, what? We are going to damage or what? Because both of us were given some post position. I think I was project manager and he was active manager, something like that. So both were having manager name. I was project manager. He was active manager. So that's why purposefully I would tell him every time. There are two damagers. I would never say that managers, we are managers. I would always tell him there are two damagers in NIT Warangal. And this fellow do a lot of damage in 12 days. And the real manager, Krishna, sets right everything in 18 days. Because what would happen when I would be going with him? So then for weekly program that would conduct. So then some 10, 12 boys would come generally for that. And when we would not be there, we would be back in Pune. Then he would get the news because he's acting manager. So boys would inform him. So then the Prabhu, 19 boys came for studying on Saturday and Sunday, and Prasadam count was 19. And he would be wondering, when we are there only 10, 12, and when we are not there, more boys. So he would tell me, in Pune, he would tell me, Prabhu, when we were there only 10, 12 boys, and now in our absence 19. I would say, yeah, because manager is working, na? Krishna is working, everything is smooth. So more boys are attracted. And when we go, we are the damagers. And he would be so upset. Poor fellow, I mean, he did not understand. So hopefully he will understand. So You should feel that I am the damager. So Krishna, please put. I told Rajesham Prabhu because their tenure of 3 years would be there for any project manager. 3 years only he can be going out and preaching in any college. After 3 years he has to come back to Pune, and then Radhesham Prabhu would decide. So my third year was getting over in NIT Oregon. Some few months were remaining. So I told Rajesham Prabhu, now third year is. Son, you please tell. You must have thought of somebody. So then I can come back and I can hand over whatever the things and all that. So he said, no, no, nobody's there. You only continue. So by his grace, I continued for 7 years. So the rule was broken. So one has to be very careful. The leader should not enter in our head in the terms of, now I'll exhibit maximum false ego. You should not take lead in exhibiting more false ego by becoming any leader. One should exhibit topmost servitorship by taking leadership position. Otherwise, Krishna will drag him down. Punar mushtika bhava. That's what happened. People were lost. Where the names are also gone. निशान नामो निशान मिट जाएगा. निशान पहले मिट जाते. Means dhoti may be hanging in ashram. Saffron dhoti or saffron brahmachari. Then he left. So then some brahmachari say, अरे ऐसा ही पड़ा है. उसका है प्रभु जी को उसका नाम भी लिखा होता है. So he knows. So he takes and he wears that dhoti. थोड़ा prestige issue है तो he'll remove that last part when his name is there and he wears dhoti kurta. तो पहले निशान मिट जाएंगे उसके. बाद में नाम भी मिट जाएगा. So like that has happened so many people. So one has to be extremely humble. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told before defeating Keshav Kashmiri, फलवंत वृक्षार गुणवंत जन नम्रता से तहार स्वभाव अनुक्षण. Whether trees laden with very nice fruits or people with good qualities. Namrata, humility is their continuous characteristics. Namrata se tahar swabhav anukshan. This has to be your swabhav. This is our original swabhav anyway. But then because we think I am this, I am that, very foolishly, then we become very arrogant. Namrata, humility. 24/7 we have to be humble. Then only we can chant 24/7. Kirtanya Sadhari. Such people, if they go in post and position with envy and all that, then they will not be able to chant. Their 16 rounds also they will not be focused and all. And then gone. They will lose enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness. Right.
Yeah, living being, not like ISKCON. So everyone has emotions. Now this knowledge that we see Krishna everywhere, which can be applied, but because everyone have different also is is bad hurt us and we get emotionally disturbed. Even though knowing that see everything is perfect and mirror of my own consciousness. How do we apply this knowledge?
Through scriptures in 11:28, 1 and 2, Krishna is addressing the same issue. Paraswabhava karmani na prashanset na garhyet. And same thing in a reverse way, in a different way, he's speaking in second verse. 28th chapter, 11th canto. So Uddhav Gita is very powerful. One shloka is amazing. So we saw so many shlokas. In fact, many more are there. So he says, other swabhav, that is characteristic of the subtle body, and karma. Paraswabhava karmani. Karma is the characteristic of gross body. We all do karma with our gross body. And our swabhava is characteristic of our subtle body. So paraswabhava karmani na prashanset. Don't glorify, don't praise. And na garhayet. Don't criticize also. Because they are also helpless. They are also bound by the modes, etc. So they act succumbing to the modes. So what is the point in just what they are not able to control? Who are you trying to control it? Materially, it's just not possible. So why you get disturbed? Don't do it. And if you do it, if you criticize other swabhava and karma, then we'll go deeper in Maya. You read the translation as well as purport, and you see what Krishna is saying. Amazing. If not doing that, means not criticizing and praising other swabhava and karma, you will get freed from Maya's bonds. And by doing it, in the next verse he says, you will get further deeper in Maya. So amazing. Same thing is told in such a powerful way. Why should Krishna repeat? In one sense, he's not repeating. He's telling in both ways. Just like Rupa Goswami telling in NOI. Same thing in second verse and third verse. By associating with worldly minded persons, it will destroy bhakti. And in third verse, he says, if one gives up the association of worldly minded people, he will flourish in bhakti. So, same associating with materialistic people is dangerous. The same point is emphasized in second and third in two different ways. Same thing Krishna is doing in 11:28, 1 and 2. So, you should be undisturbed, knowing that his swabha, his karma, his so many things are there. If you are able to help him, fine, despite his swabhava and karma, etc. If not, then adjust yourself. You have to adjust. Yes. And our emotions have to be engaged in Krishna's service. I think I had told here. His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj, when asked by Kamal Lochan Prabhu, when he was on Navy, or not Navy, what do you call it? Merchant's Navy. So when he got off and he went to Chennai temple, Maharaj gave class. At the end, he asked, so ultimately, what is the philosophy of Brahma Madhava Gaudiya? Maharaj said, ultimately, there is no philosophy. Ultimately, there are only emotions. We have to just offer our emotions to Krishna. Vrajavasis don't have philosophy in one sense. Krishna is our son, Krishna is our lover, Krishna is our friend. Emotions, but they are pure emotions, spiritual emotions. Currently, what we have are all adulterated emotions. Goodness is there in our emotion, passion is there, ignorance is there. So, such emotions are not conducive to offer to Krishna. So, we have to remove all this contamination. And for that, philosophy is there. Although vision is given by scriptures, by Krishna, by Guru, so we have to accept that vision. Just like I may be, the far objects may be bluntly seen by me. But if I go to eye specialist or whatever, then he will give me spec. And when I wear that, the far objects also I can see very clearly. So that vision is only offered through philosophy. Philosophy is what? Darshan Shastra. Darshan means what? Darshan means, Bhagwan ke darshan lene with eyes. But what is it? By hearing. Ours is Shrauta Pantha. By hearing, we have to understand. Otherwise, all devotees fighting so much because of our emotion. Why this senior is doing like this, speaking like this? What does he think of himself? And the senior saying, how can he not subordinate? I have been appointed by Guru Parampara. So much of emotional trauma in Vaishnava circle. Mm. And is this pure emotions? Not. That's why trouble. The leader is troubled, subordinates are troubled. One has to be having pure emotions. Then it will not be problem. Prabhupada's all emotions are very pure. Whether it was anger, it was chastisement, and glorifying others, everything is pure, pure emotion. The sole purpose of pleasing Hari Guru Vaishnavas. That's all. No other purpose in life. And that can be seen from the first step only. Going to America with on 38 days voyage with no money, no good health, heart attacks, exclusively for the benefit of everybody in the creation. He was on that move. Yes.
Then you may understand that you may ask for that contamination created in the system still remains the
Whose heart? His heart or our heart? Offender's heart.
become very regret.
It will become?
Very regret and not a
We should be able to, because ours is not like eternal damnation. Like some religions say, na? Oh, if you are sinful, once you go to hell, or all eternity you will be in hell only. Eternal damnation. That is not the Vedic concept at all. Vedas always give chance. Api cheta suduracharo bhajate ma mananyava sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisa. So forget it. Okay, that happened, and you what you call beg forgiveness, and now you continue serving him. Act as his servant. Become his personal servant. That seniors you can say, Prabhu, you are going to travel there for 3 days. Can I come? I will act as your servant. Means assistant. Servant word you should not use. He will not lie. You can say, I want to assist you. Because the best way of becoming a preacher is by seeing already existing preachers very closely. So I want to see that. Is that okay? Go with him and carry his luggage, cook for him, or whatever is required. Assist him. Set the sound system, mic, whatever it is takes. So why to just that part which is over? No need to get stuck there. Proceed. Continuously, we should be moving on. Should not get stuck somewhere.
that Daksha when they offended. So he shows from later again the mentality of. So how that.
So he could have continued serving, na? In that birth with the goat head, he could have become personal servant of Lord Shiva. That was not acceptable to him. He just he understood लाथे खा के इतना सब कुछ हो गया. Then he externally begged forgiveness, but the seed remained. He could have removed that seed by acting as personal servant of Lord Shiva, which would have been a big blow on his false ego, because he's first of all he's the father-in-law of Shiva, and secondly he's head of the Prajapati. So many things are there. But he still could have acted as the servant, personal servant, and he could have got rid of that sin. Same thing with Ramchandra Puri also. He could have immediately corrected, oh, Guru Maharaj, you saying that I'm wrong, sorry. Okay, Krishna is supreme. So now Ishwar Puri is already serving. So I will act as the servant of Ishwar Puri. That I will become servant of the servant. He could have been assisting Ishwar Puri, who was serving Madhavendra Puri. So you have to go to the lowliest position and act as humble servant. The seed and everything will go on. Karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. So bhakti has that potency, but you have to act very humbly. Rather than just worrying about the problem, one should move on and focus on the solution. Otherwise, then we are still inflicted with ignorance. Because of ignorance, we are still going on. What is that? Bhakti utpadate pumsam shoka moho bhaya. What is the beginning? Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yasyam Vai Shruyamanayam Krishne Parama Purushe Bhakti Utpadate Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha Yasyam Vai Shruyamanayam Krishne Purusha Parama Purushe. So Param Purush Krishna, when you serve through hearing about Krishna Katha, etc. Bhakti Utpadate, Bhakti is produced in our heart. Bhakti Utpadate Pumsam. And what is the symptom? Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Paham is destroyed. Shoka, the lamentation of the past, is destroyed. Moha, the illusion of the current, present tense, is destroyed. And bhai, the fear of the future, is also destroyed. So we should perform pure devotional service, not mixed devotional service by thinking, oh, I acted wrongly, I begged forgiveness, but I think Prabhu has not forgiven. Whether he has not forgiven internally, externally forgiven, whatever, you go on serving as his servant, humble menial servant. He will internally, externally, from everywhere, he will forgive you. And no need to keep doubting and all that. Samshayatma pranashyati. Whether he has forgiven or not. So much on mental platform, a devotee should not. Particularly, brahmacharis will be quite a lot on mental platform. Because on physical platform, there is not much enjoyment allowed for a brahmachari. Eating, okay, eating, everybody has limitation. Sleeping also, in brahmachari ashram, one will not be allowed to sleep a lot. 6 hours, 6.5 hours. Somebody sick, maybe.
He can go crazy, literally crazy.
Superior, subordinating, and just doing humble meaning. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danto Guru Ritam Acharan Dasavan Nicho, like a humble menial servant. Guru Sudruda Savratam. Brahmachari means Pauki Jyoti. Like somebody comes now, stands on my head here, some child wants to sit here and pass urine, no problem. There should not be any problem. Miss, I should be concerned that Vyasasan will be spoiled. I can afterwards wash the cushion and everything. Because I am the Jyoti of the whole society. Legs of the society or Jyoti of the society. Jyoti, how we deal with our chappal shoes? Yes. Sometimes we just throw it here and there. So like that, brahmachari means wait, pocha maar ke kaise squeeze it and throw it. So brahmachari should be very humble. Else he will have a lot of difficulty. To the degree he carries false ego, he will be smashed in the ashram by other ashramites. Either he has to get purified or he has to get out. Only two options. Choice is left to every individual. Huh? Yeah, it's a stark reality of life. Cannot avoid it. Scriptures have told it very clearly. Narad Muni's words. Brahmachari Guru. Prabhupada has given no purport. Yeah, it's a fact. He should just follow it. We give lectures after lecture, but Prabhupada has not given one line purport also. Yeah, it's a fact. वही है position brahmachari का. Should just be shoes in the leg. So don't get carried away by your emotion. Likes, dislikes, very dangerous. Sense gratification. Topmost sense gratification of a brahmachari. For anyone, His Grace Jannivas Prabhu, such a senior brahmachari, senior most, you can say. He said, whenever anybody says, I like this, I dislike this, that means sense gratification. You cannot even say, I like this. Whether you do it or not do it, that is different. Should not even say. There is no liking, no disliking. Whatever Guru says, whatever Guru likes, I like. Whatever Guru dislikes, I dislike. I am just his sold out servant. No separate existence for a brahmachari. Means for if he wants to become pure devotee. In the initial stages, he has so much of separate existence. Separatist mentality. Lord Kapila is telling Mother Devotee. Whether your bhakti is mixed with sattoguna bhakti, rajoguna bhakti, tamoguna bhakti. Everywhere separatist word is there. Bhinna, drak. You can see that. So you cannot have any other desire. Only whatever my Hari Guru Vaishnavas say, that is my desire. I was told about His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj. He is so faithful, loyal, dedicated to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. So, like if Bhakti Charu Maharaj says, so this black color of the wall is not good. I don't like this. So, His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj will tell, this is the black color of the wall. Will you say black? No black there is. So, white or what you call off white or whatever they call, where is the black there? That is wrong. He will not say that. Guru says this is black wall, black color wall, black color. Hey, it is completely illogical. What nonsense? How there is black? It's not black at all. There may be some black spot there somewhere sometimes. That is also not visible. So much one has to be like that. Anyway, Guru will not say that this is black wall, but one has to be fully surrendered. Ideally, there is no question of having separate emotions. Because we want many devotees and that, so then we may say that, devotee care and all that. The devotee should be cared and seniors many times. But ideally, one has to be very much surrendered. Just like let O Lord, their thy will be done. Like that, whatever my superiors desire, that will be done. Not that my likes, dislike, I don't like this. When he says like this, or when this is the way management is done, that is the way prasad is served, that is the way the queue is managed. No. I may give suggestion if I feel that that will help in a better service to all. But if they don't accept, fine. I'm not attached to fulfillment of my request, whatever it is. Ma phaleshu kadachan. So life is completely backed up by this science. Life is like art, but behind that complete science is there. So we should be thorough in this both science and art of devotional service. Many of us might have done arts and maybe BA and you are the topper also in the university. And might have done BSc, MSc or even, but that is useless. Here in spiritual science, spiritual art, we have to learn. Any other? Okay, then we'll end here. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktarunda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Is that okay? Good. Is our discussion? Was our discussion okay? Yes, sir. Last part is I forgot. Because I was involved in the conversation. The attention is not there in what's happening.